And right now we're here with the Bajan Scout, Alan Pinder. Alan, what do you have for us in the fantasy world of basketball?
Well, Terry, we're just a few games into the season right now, but we've got a couple of things we could look at fantasy-wise. So far, some of what we expected has come through so far in terms of KD, Steph, Jokic, and even Julius Randle being off to great starts with regards to fantasy. On the center side, it seems I may have missed Anthony Towns. He seems to be doing better than Embiid so far, but most of what we were expected seems to be taking shape at this point in time.
Okay, so any surprises for me? You just can't just give me the ordinary. Like, got any surprises that got anybody that we should be, thinking about?
Well, a couple of early surprises I talk with a lot of right now. I would say if you look, CJ McCollum, he had a great first game, 34 points, about 5 assists, 6 boards. He had a great start in his first game. Malcolm Brogdon is off to a very good start as well, averaging almost 30 points, 10 assists, almost 6 boards. Not sure if that's going to continue, but Indiana has a lot of injuries, so he's the main perimeter threat for them right now. So he just got a contract extension, a pretty significant one, which, as we know, is going to stop him from being included in any potential Ben Simmons trades, as it was rumored some time back. Oh. So, yes, I think Malcolm might be able to sustain some of these numbers, but we'll see. And Ja Morant got off to an excellent start in his first game, and his numbers are 37, 6, and 6 right now. So he's off to a very good start early on. We didn't really project him in this range as yet. I think the biggest surprise so far is Harrison Barnes. He's averaging 30 points, 12 boards in his first 2 games, and he seems to be the go-to guy for the Sacramento Kings right now. So I think those are a couple of early surprises that if you believe in these guys, you may want to potentially look and see if you can swing a trade for these guys. You may get some good value on them potentially, but some guys to keep an eye on for sure.
Okay, and what about the people that we have to keep our eye on? Because you know that is always, when injuries start, then you gotta try and see who you could, go down the bargain bin to see who you could pick up. So tell me who I can keep my eyes on if I'm in fantasy.
Yeah, for sure. Mo Bamba is on my watch list, definitely. He's not drafted in most leagues right now. He was out most of last year. I mean, after he first got COVID coming into the bubble, and he had a hard recovery from COVID, which affected him a lot last season. But he seems to be back in form this year. He's a young player, and Orlando has a lot of young guys on it. He seems to be doing pretty well so far. He's getting like 16.7 boards, and he's getting some blocks as well. So he's going to give you some of those defensive stats. Chris Duarte, given the Indiana Pacers, a lot of injuries on that team as usual. The rookie is not playing like a rookie so far, averaging 20 points, getting about 4 or 5 boards and assists per game. And his 3-point shooting, he's had almost 10 threes in the first couple of games. So he's starting for them right now. There's a good chance he may continue to start for them for quite a while, given TJ Warren's injury and also given Caris LeVert's injury. But when those guys sort of come back, that may push his buy-in on a little bit. Tyrese Maxey, similar situation. Ben Simmons is out for a little while. And we don't know what Philly is going to get in return for him. Daryl Morey thinking maybe 4 years before we get a replacement potentially. So you have to see what happens there. But Tyrese Maxey is giving you about 18 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists so far. And Shake Milton is also out. So he seems to be one of the main guys on the perimeter. And lastly, Will Barton. He shouldn't be a surprise right here, but he's not drafted in a lot of leagues right now. And he was out last year. No, he was out last couple of years. He had a lot of injuries. He came back last year, but he wasn't really up to scratch. In the preview I gave last week, I was expecting Porter Jr. to be the main perimeter threat for the Nuggets. I still think that's going to be the case, but Will Barton seems like he's going to pick up a lot of slack there. He gives you good all-around numbers, scoring, boards, and assists. He seems to be off to a pretty good start this year. So those are 4 guys that may not be drafted in your league right now. There's a good chance to pick them all off the waiver wire if they're still there.
Okay, so I want to thank the guru of fantasy basketball, Alan Pinder, the Bajan Scout, for joining us here on Court in Session. Thanks.
Take care, guys.